Yo, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. It is Friday, June 16th, 2023. I'm very happy. And the reason I'm very happy is because Bitcoin stays winning. I'm going to read you two headlines, and they're about 5, 6, maybe 7 years apart. This is a headline from October 13th, 2017. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink calls Bitcoin an, quote, index of money laundering. This is an article from the same publication. June 15, 2023. BlackRock files for spot Bitcoin ETF with Coinbase as a crypto custodian. The Bitcoin incentives stay winning. They continue to win. Right. And the only thing the other side has is coercion. So, yeah, it's going to be a very, very bullish episode. We also have a very special guest. We have Mick from Geyser, who's able to join us today. I'm going to welcome up on stage in a second. But first, my legendary co-host, always optimistic brother. Holy crap. Bitcoin just stays winning, dude. It just stays winning. It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. As we were saying on Twitter, bull market confirmed, but I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted here on this one, Nico. I know Bitcoin stays winning. Bitcoin incentives are pure, but I don't know, man. I think my alarm bells are going off, but we'll wait for the news. Let's bring in Mick. We got Mick from Geyser Fund in today, so we're going to talk about all the good things about Geyser Fund with our boy Mick here for content creators. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. This one should be epic. How you doing this morning, bro?
I'm doing great. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you guys so much. I've been watching you guys since forever. So insane to be here.
Happy to have you on the show. For anyone who doesn't know, who's just joining us, or should we save it for the culture? I don't think you guys understand how important Geyser is for content creators in general. It's an alternative form of being able to monetize their content. So if you were to give the audience a quick elevator pitch, Mick, on what Geyser is, could you do that? If you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. So Geyser is really a tool for people that have ideas to be able to launch them out there and let the community fund them. Right. It was really built from Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners to launch their ideas and be supported by the community. Really a easy, simple tool that anyone can contribute to the Bitcoin ecosystem. Really. There's many different angles of which you can see Geyser, but really think about it as a bit like a Kickstarter or GoFundMe, built on top entirely on Bitcoin and on Lightning. And it stands on the principles of Bitcoiners. So it's we're non-custodial, so all the funds may pass through Geyser, but Geyser never remains a custodian. That always goes to the creators, and it remains one of the best, easiest ways for people to just start launching their ideas.
Awesome. Yeah, like I said, you play, and we're very lucky to share a panel together at the Bitcoin 2023, and I just gotta say, and I know it's not just for content creators, but from the perspective of a content creator, I think Geyser plays a very, very important role in the ecosystem, and we really want to highlight that today. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into news. Straight into the numbers. We got a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by Nodl. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse, because now you can run a Nodl through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right, guys, I want to tell you about the largest Bitcoin conference in the world, Bitcoin 2024. It's not going to be in Miami this year. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, July 25th through the 27th, 2024, the year of the halving. You're not going to want to miss it. You can get a GA ticket for $299, an industry pass, which I recommend if you're trying to get a job in the industry, for $749, and a whale pass for $4,499. I highly recommend this conference. It's the largest Bitcoin conference in the world. Bitcoin 2024, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 25,845 sats per dollar, 3,869. Block height, 794,638. Reachable Bitcoin nodes, 17,096. Blocks to halving, 45,362. Halving estimate, April 20th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 5,391. Capacity value, 139 million. Realized monetary inflation, 1.76%. And the market capitalization of Bitcoin, $501 billion with a B. Anyways, here's Samson now. He had a conversation with, he was on Breedlove's show, and I think it was like an in-person recording. Anyways, I'm going to play you the clip, and then we'll talk about it. Let's check it out.
Even if you don't want the Bitcoin, the other interesting thing is I tell them, even if you don't want the Bitcoin, you can simply sell it.
Yeah.
If you value gold, if you value dollars, it's there for you to take.
Right.
You just take the Bitcoin and sell it. It's the most liquid market on the planet.
Yeah.
With some $40 billion of trade volume daily.
Mm.
So it's almost irresponsible not to tap into that.
Yeah.
And take it. Build roads, build hospitals, build airports.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. I'm just reminded right now the analogy used last time for a nation state of a hotel, right? Like,
So shout out, first of all, to Breedlove. Amazing content, like always. Check out the What Is Money show. But anyways, I want to focus on this, right? So specifically, what was Mao referring to? So Samson was referring to an energy-rich country should be mining Bitcoin to fund their own infrastructure. Indonesia, hardware wallets, network resilience, ordinals, and more on the latest episode of the What Is Money show. But I want to really focus on the top part of this, right? We're just talking about energy-rich countries. Well, it becomes a no-brainer. And this isn't just a theory anymore. This is something that we're watching play out. Burma, right? Massive amount of hydroelectric capacity, and they use some of that without saying anything, right? They didn't take the route of El Salvador, where they made it. They had a lot of publicity, right? They kind of kept it under wraps. I suspect it's because they didn't want the attention. But this is a country that is blessed with this tremendous amount of hydroelectric capacity, excess capacity. And they figured out, hey, I could just turn that into Bitcoin. Before, it was very hard. Like, what were you going to do with all that excess energy, right? It is very hard to transport it over long distances. Battery technology is not quite there yet. So they figured, hey, let me just turn that into Bitcoin. Now, there's so many other countries all around the world that are very similar in that sense. Maybe it's not hydroelectric. Maybe they just have a tremendous amount of fossil fuels, of natural gas. I have no idea, right? The point is, any country that has is energy rich, could mine Bitcoin, and I think it's inevitable, and I think that's something that you're going to definitely see in the coming decade for sure. I think it all roads lead to Bitcoin. It's just a question of how long does it take for people to wake up to this. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing things. I want to get mixed take. What are your thoughts, man?
Really interesting. At first, I thought about it in a different way. Actually, I thought someone was referring to mine Bitcoin by tapping into your energy resources, right? And then just sell it into the market, which is also a very interesting, pitch to the whole world of energy intense countries that have a lot of resources and energy. But yeah, the idea that just accept it and tourists will come. It's the same narrative that we actually hear in the UK where I'm based, but also all over the world, around people that are working with merchants to get them to accept Bitcoin. It's just saying, look, there are all these people that are crazy fanatics about spending their Bitcoin. Just accept Bitcoin and just you can route it back into your fiat or whatever. It's just an alternative payment rail that has a lot of users where people will come because of that. So as a sales pitch, it makes absolute sense. from the micro perspective of businesses to the macro perspective of nation states.
Yeah, 100%. And I love the way that Samson phrased it, right? It's like, look, like even if you don't like Bitcoin, like even if you don't believe in Bitcoin, you could just sell it. Like it's as simple as that. What are you going to do with all that excess energy in the first place, right? That's the pitch, right? Like that's why, a country like Burma would, take it's not Burma. I completely messed up the name. And that's, oh man, it's a Bhutan. Thank you so much, Opti. I really apologize about that, guys.
Isn't that the country that had Bitcoin
Bhutan.
in their balance sheet from Celsius or something?
Yes. It's not Burma. So forgive me, guys. I apologize. That's my bad. But no, it's the country of Bhutan. Very, very small country in the middle of Asia. And apparently they have a tremendous amount of hydroelectric capacity. And they're using that to mine Bitcoin. And I think it's just a matter of time before people wake up to this reality. I mean, look, oil companies, energy companies are doing this already, right? You had ConocoPhillips that came out, TEPCO, which is a Japanese energy producer as well, came out that they're mining Bitcoin. Gazprom also came out, which is a Russian state-owned energy company, came out that they're mining Bitcoin as well. I think all roads lead to Bitcoin. I think all excess energy is going to be eventually eaten by Bitcoin. I'm calling it right now. Anyways, Opti, what's your take on all this? Am I being too optimistic? Is Nico being too Opti?
I think you're the pessimist on the show, so I'm gonna get stupidly bullish here. But first, I really love mixed perspective as well. I couldn't agree more. And I really like how Samson kind of phrased it in that video. Like it's irresponsible to not tap into Bitcoin. I can't see how countries or even individuals or private companies don't benefit from the Bitcoin network in general. And I think energy is the sleeper killer app to Bitcoin. And shout out to my boy Mike Hobart, because he's been beating the drum on this for a while, that yes, Bitcoin is savings. Yes, Bitcoin will help the individual, but Bitcoin is revolutionizing the energy sector. And it's almost impossible to ignore at this point. We are seeing more receipts, more data points proving the point that, hey, if you have excess energy, if you're a country with excess energy, you're a private company with excess energy, why not just plug in some ASICs? Profits are good, and you can make more profits and make your company even more profitable. And hey, we do live in a capitalist system, and I know all the corporations out there are like, how do we make more money? We are just burning money. And who likes to think about the idea that you are just wasting money when there is an easy alternative to just plug in ASICs? Like it's as simple as either incentivizing, mobile miners to come in and plug into your excess energy, or, building the infrastructure to do it yourself. So I think there is a lot of opportunity here, and it's only a matter of time until whether it's countries or companies, they all wake up to the fact that you are literally burning money right now. You are wasting money by letting your energy go without putting it towards something that can literally basically print money out of thin air. Don't we all want the opportunity to print money? Well, hey, just plug in some ASICs if you have excess energy. And it's happening around the world right now. So it's no more just like ideological or theoretical. We are seeing this happen in real time, and it's only a matter of time until this spreads out into other countries, other companies, and they wake up to the fact that they are literally burning money or wasting money right now, and they can just plug into the Bitcoin network.
Beautiful. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And there's, what else could do that? Do you guys know?
No clue.
Mick doesn't know either. Yeah, I'm same.
The market, right? The market is like someone said, right? The Bitcoin is the only true free market in the world, and some way Bitcoin is the market for energy, but really for anything, right? Because you guys didn't have to ask for permission to start doing a podcast about Bitcoin, right? We didn't have to ask for permission to build a company on Bitcoin. Like, if we wanted to try to do something like that in the traditional world, good luck with that. You're gonna have to do, first of all, to build up Geyser, just to bring it up, we had like 10 rejections from bank accounts to just use Geyser, to create a Geyser bank account. Imagine to route payments through a bank. Impossible. So Bitcoin just enables the market to happen as well. Like, we don't think about that often enough, but it's just an incredible foundational technology for the development of the market itself.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%. It's bullish stuff for a bullish Friday. Anyways, everybody, let's get to news. We got a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green Jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin.
All right, guys, I also want to give a shout out to the Orange Pill app. It's building the social layer for Bitcoin. As crazy as this sounds, without the people, Bitcoin is just ones and zeros. Bitcoin is the people. Bitcoin is you. It's me. It's Opti. It's Mick. It's Satoshi. Download the Orange Pill app for iOS or Android and connect with other Bitcoiners in real life today. Find other plebs that live near you, and you can go into the app totally anon and search for other Bitcoiners by common interest. Orange Pill app is also the world's biggest repository for Bitcoin-only events. If you want to meet other Bitcoiners in real life, this is the app for you. Sign up through the App Store, and you can even pay in sats. And Opti and I appreciate all the love and all the messages. We try to take the time to go through all of them. We really appreciate it, guys. Anyways, want to get to the breaking news. It really came out yesterday, but I wanted to kind of let it marinate a little bit so that we can get out more information. But BlackRock tries for spot Bitcoin ETF with fresh SEC filing. I think the significance of this is this happened a week after Coinbase was sued by the SEC and Binance was sued by the SEC. And something very similar happened with Fidelity, right? You have two massive companies that have a tremendous amount of money under management and trillions of dollars, not billions of dollars. And they both said, didn't read. What's the meme, Opti? Didn't read, not selling or something?
Yeah.
So anyways, let's check out this Bloomberg article. It says BlackRock tries for a spot Bitcoin ETF with fresh SEC filing. BlackRock Inc. is trying its hand at potentially getting the first spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund launched in the US. The world's largest asset manager on Thursday applied for the iShares Bitcoin Trust, according to a filing with the US Securities Exchange Commission. Coinbase, the biggest crypto exchange in the US, would act as a custodian. The ETF, should it launch, would trade on NASDAQ. I think the key part of this is the world's largest asset manager. To be specific, they have $10 trillion under management. And I mean, like, it goes, and I read you guys the headline in the very beginning and just contrasting that, right? So Larry Fink basically saying, Bitcoin is used for money laundering. 5-7 years later, number go up, technology does its thing, Bitcoin's incentives stay winning, and then all of a sudden it's kind of a 180. Now I saw Yellow in the chat saying fuck BlackRock. I completely agree. I think the dangers of an ETF is that people get comfortable and then they just start buying the ETF instead of buying Bitcoin. And then you have the risk of what Caitlin Long always talks about, rehypothecation, right? Selling Bitcoin that they don't have, right? And then that could be used as a mechanism for price suppression, right? And a lot of people theorize that's what's happened to gold, right? That's been captured, right? So, and I've pinned this to the top of my profile. I don't think it's there anymore on my Twitter, but I said if enough people take self-custody, we win this thing no matter what happens. Now, the risk with an ETF, like I said, is that people get, with their Charles Schwab account, they'll just be like, hey, like, why do I just, why do I need to go to dollars and then buy Bitcoin and go to the process of taking self-custody? This is so easy. It's just like owning a stock. Like, why not? Right. So that's the kind of the risk. Like, if you want to be honest, like from the Bitcoin perspective, like that's kind of the risk. Now, from the other perspective, this is another sign of institutional adoption. I think that was like one of the narratives in 2017 was the institutions are coming. The institutions are coming. The institutions never fucking came, but the institutions are definitely here now. And That's undeniable at this point. Anyways, it goes on to say this is at least the 33rd attempt by issuers for a spot Bitcoin product, according to a tally from Bloomberg Intelligence. But applications have faced opposition by regulators who have in the past cited market concerns and a lack of investor protections, among other things. The SEC, meanwhile, is suing Coinbase, alleging that it is running an illegal exchange. The company, and think about how consequential that is, right? The company, the largest asset manager in the world, not only is like, okay, clearly we know how the Biden administration feels about the industry. No, not only that, they're using the company that is being sued to be the custodian in this thing in the first place. And as much as I don't like Coinbase, I hate crypto casinos. I think, they get a lot of people wrecked. And they sell people in the false equivalence between Bitcoin and altcoins. Right. And then everyone kind of has, their unit bias, right? Where they see, oh, Bitcoin's at 29,000 or 25,000. I can get Cardano at fucking what, I don't know what it's trading at, 3, 4, 2 cents. I don't know. So you're like, I could buy a lot more Cardano. Like exchanges like Coinbase, in that sense, hurt a lot of people, right? Because it's kind of giving this like it's comparing apples to oranges without properly disclosing it. So anyways, I think this is, incredibly bullish, but I do agree with Yellow. BlackRock is definitely not an institution to be trusted. Here's BitPain, and I think is a pretty good observation. It says BlackRock is probably the most politically powerful and connected entity in the United States. I bet this spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved. Everything Gary and other agencies have done was covered to wash out the undeserving frontrunners and let the anointed have their due. That's a pretty good observation. Let's see if that comes true. Here's an update from Bitcoin treasuries. I don't know if this is a troll, because isn't this the American HODL meme, Opti?
Yeah.
6.15. Okay, so if you look at Bitcoin treasuries, which is a website built by CoinKite, and shout out MVK, it does a really good job at like kind of tracking what public companies or what Bitcoin or what companies are holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Of course, we know MicroStrategy is number one with 140,000 Bitcoin. But if you take a look at here, BlackRock is on that list. And do you think it's a coincidence that they bought 6.15? I don't know if that's a coincidence, Opti. I think, they might be sending a message. I don't want to read too into it, but I think that's hilarious. Just a reminder, guys, BlackRock holds $10 trillion under management. But by the way, this isn't only happening with BlackRock, right? This is also happening with two other major institutions in the US. And we actually covered this when the news came out, right? These are the top 10 owners of MicroStrategy stock. And MicroStrategy stock, because they own so much Bitcoin, you can make the argument that it kind of functions like a Bitcoin ETF. It totally isn't. But the MicroStrategy stock and the Bitcoin price is very, very, it's tightly correlated, right? It's almost as if they're kind of the same thing. But there's three institutions here to keep in mind that are very, very interesting. So you have BlackRock, right? That loaded on MicroStrategy stock. Most importantly, you have Bank of America, which bought a ton of MicroStrategy stock. And then, of course, Fidelity, right? Fidelity also has a tremendous amount of assets under management, specifically $4.5 trillion. And that's trillion with a T. So, I mean, look, everyone always kind of makes the case, this was the narrative. I never forget this. 2017, that was the narrative. I know. Opti, you remember that narrative. Everyone remembers that narrative. Institutions are coming. So let's kind of go through a thought experiment. I'm feeling bullish on Friday. This was this ARK investment that was set out, and it kind of makes three cases for Bitcoin, the potential price of Bitcoin in 2030. And of course, we don't speculate on this channel. We just, we recommend dollar cost averaging, staying humble, stacking sats. But I want to have fun today, so let's do it anyways. The 2030 bear case, according to this ARC research, is apparently is 258,000 for 2030. The base case is 682,000, and the bull case for 2030 is 1.48 million. And then they kind of break it down, right? They talk about the penetration, right? So if in the bull case, Bitcoin would be 5% of corporate treasuries. In the bear case, it would be 0. I just don't see that happening. Remittance rate in the bear case would be 5%. In the bull case, it would be 25%. Nation state treasury. Now that's where I'm kind of on the bearish side. It's 0%, and then the bull case, it's 5%. Emerging market currency. On the bear case, it's 0.5%. On the bull case, it's 10%. Economic settlement network, it's 1%. On the bear case, on the bull case, it's 10%. Seizure resistant asset, on the bear case, it's 1%. On the bull case, it's 5%. Institutional investment. Now, I mean, we're on the right track there, right? On the bear case, it's 1%. On the bull case, it's 6.5%. Digital gold. On the bear case, it's 20%. On the bull case, it's 50%. Anyways, just kind of wanted to, talk about some possibilities, some potentials, like laying it out there. And I love Pandora's Box comment for our audio listeners. He or she says, game theory works perfectly. Yeah, I think this is Bitcoin's incentive stay winning, and that goes to show. And by the way, BlackRock isn't the first company that kind of switched. Michael Saylor, many, many years before he became the Bitcoin Chad, there's a tweet that I remember that he basically said, this thing isn't going to work out. Like Bitcoin isn't going to work out. I think Bitcoin keeps proving the world wrong with NGU, with number go up technology. The fact that it becomes more and more resilient, it becomes harder to kill. You had the CCP, one of the most powerful, governments in the world, ban this thing multiple times. It banned Bitcoin mining within their borders, and the hash rate literally only took 9 months to recover. It decentralized in the process, and now it's continuing to make all-time highs, right? So if you can't kill the honey badger, you're just making it stronger. And I think the world is starting to wake up to that fact, and I think that's precisely why BlackRock made this announcement. Now, that theory by BitPain is very interesting. If they approve the BlackRock ETF and they denied everything else, that's sus, man. It's very, 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 that's some sketchy shit. Anyways, Mick, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is a nothing burger? Do you think, do you think it's consequential? What are your thoughts about, BlackRock applying for a Bitcoin ETF?
Yes, so much to say. I think the first point I'd like to make is the fact that I think all the biggest news so far by far is the SEC suing Coinbase. That is as a very, very important point, right? To really stress to the fact that we're in this sort of moment of dividing, like where the waters are being divided. Like it's being clear that Bitcoin is not a security. Bitcoin is this commodity, is digital bearer instrument, this decentralized thing that is on a different point than all these other cryptocurrencies. And now the SEC has started saying that, I don't know, Solana and Polygon and all these other cryptocurrencies are securities. And this is just the beginning, right? They're just starting with the obvious ones, and then they're going to start going up and up and up the entire spectrum of cryptocurrencies. And this is incredible. Like this is insane implication. This really reduces all these other cryptocurrencies, like reduces liquidity, like reduces the market, and gets people thinking about, well, I have to actually be careful in holding this because it's a security and it's actually an illegal security and it has implications. So I think on one hand, this is happening. On the other, it doesn't mean that crypto will die. It'll keep going. But it will happen within the guises of the SEC. So it's like you can create your cryptocurrency. You just have to register it as a security. So in some way, I think Coinbase could still has two choices, right? Do I want to be do I still want to continue creating these pump and dump schemes, but within a regulated environment, which isn't always really good for the end customers anyway. But they might still find some way to kind of insert it within the regulatory framework. Or do I want to actually, innovate a new payment layer with Bitcoin, with Lightning? But I don't see them really do that in any case, although they have the opportunity. So I think that's, but I think something that's really important point that divides waters, and really stresses the point that Bitcoin is on a different scale than everything else, and that I find the most exciting thing, and it will lead a lot of people to start thinking about Bitcoin only as a completely different asset class. That's the first point. When it comes to the whole BlackRock thing, I honestly don't know. I've read into it quite a bit, the gold, the way that they use gold ETFs to really kind of keep the price down. Like you guys said, I don't see that happening the same way.
Why is that? Why is that?
The reason is I don't see the mechanism through which they can contain the price. So they can do that with gold because a lot of the gold has been, anyway, it's custody, right? The majority of the gold is held in vaults, or maybe not. Whereas with Bitcoin, there are so many holders that do hold their keys, that don't custody, and it'd be interesting to see the percentage of Bitcoin held in custody versus not. Maybe that would help, because like what happened with FTX, if you guys remember, with FTX, they were able to manipulate and lower the price of Bitcoin because they were creating Bitcoin they didn't really have and selling them in the market, right? And that price manipulation will certainly happen in a cloud world we're in today, and they will try it. The question is, will it work, considering the fact that a lot of holders are holding their Bitcoin, and we do have other, like the secondary market of peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading as well, that has a different opinion. But prices can be manipulated, especially if you have a money printer on your side. Now, I just don't know if there's enough custodial control to ensure and enable that price manipulation. I also don't trust BlackRock a single bit, Larry Fink a single bit. I think that's it really.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, just to be clear, I don't trust him either. He's been a big, he's used the fact that he has so many of these companies, right? BlackRock has so many of these like if you look at you go through Fortune 500 lists and you go to the top stockholders of everything, of Apple, Google, whatever, you will see BlackRock there, and he's used that power to push the ESG agenda hard. Yeah, right? Like Larry Fink was a big proponent of that, right? And then you kind of think about it, you're like, Bitcoin kind of goes against this agenda in a way. And then, it makes you think, but at the same time, I just think incentives, right? I think American Hodl said it best, right? No one's better than their incentives. And I think Bitcoin's incentives are irresistible. And if you're looking at it from BlackRock's perspective, and then you see Bank of America get involved, you see Fidelity get involved, right? You're looking at that and you're like, we might have to get in front of this thing. And I hope you're right, Mick. I hope that, they aren't able to do it because, because of how easy it is for the individual to take self-custody, right? So, and it's instantaneous. It's not like, okay, send me my $10 million worth of gold, please, and with the armored cars and whatever. Bitcoin it's a lot easier. And then hopefully, they aren't able to do what they've done in the past. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts on all this, brother? And then we'll move on to the culture and talk about Geyser.
Yeah, well, first, it's a trust and not an ETF, and I'm no expert on the difference.
No. So apparently, I thought that too, but actually Corey tweeted something about it last night, and he said, this was 13 hours ago. Corey says, it's okay to call it an ETF, guys. Securities Act of 1933 filing under Form S1, not Form N1A, will trade on an exchange and be redeemable to the issuer way better than GBTC. Now we'll wait to see if the SEC approves BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF. So yeah. So
awesome. And
apparently it is. Apparently,
and we'll leave the GBTC aside. We won't talk about that today because I think there is an interesting lead there. But I think this is almost guaranteed to get passed, considering it is BlackRock. And I think I saw somewhere on Twitter that said like 90% of their filings get passed. So look, obviously this is bullish for Bitcoin in some sense. Well, in many sense, legitimizing Bitcoin in the eyes of TradFi. And then, of course, BlackRock has trillions of dollars under their assets. But like Yellow keeps saying, but at what cost? You know, BlackRock are the bad guys, in my opinion. They own everything. And in many respects, this is the reason that Satoshi made Bitcoin in the first place, is to get away from these fiat games. So I am very conflicted on this. I'm kind of agreeing with a lot of people in the chat saying, you know, fuck BlackRock. BlackRock owns everything. But I think this is one of those events that was probably inevitable. You know, for many reasons you'd expect that this would have happened eventually. And maybe it's just a little too late, a little too late. Like Mick kind of made me think about the issuance rate of Bitcoin. What do we cover that number all the time? Like 92% of all Bitcoin is being held. So maybe most of the Bitcoin is already held in self-custody and they won't ever be able to actually scoop up a meaningful amount of Bitcoin. But there is a lot of stuff in that official filing that is very concerning. And of course, you mentioned one of them. Coinbase is the NY Mellon is the fiat bank. But I think the part that most Bitcoiners latched onto is the idea that BlackRock will be able to pull their weight behind whatever contentious fork they want. So it has this little clause in there that's saying they will use their discretion to determine which fork is the real fork. So it will be interesting to see whether they try to fork Bitcoin into like an ESG friendly fork, and will people get duped into following that chain? And I think Marty Bent asked a very good question, and we kind of mentioned it here about Bitcoin's incentives. Was this BlackRock hand being forced by Bitcoin, or, you know, are they trying to corner the market? So it's one of these, like, is this a chicken or an egg moment? But, you know, going further, we kind of touched on it with BitPain. It really does seem like the powers that be have stopped every other ETF attempt, and to make sure that the fiat overlords get the first spot Bitcoin ETF. So, you know, a lot of red flags. At least maybe it's just me being a paranoid Bitcoiner, and I just like, oh man, I don't know. I fundamentally don't trust BlackRock, and it just makes me feel like, man, you know, I do feel like this will pump our bags. Also, kind of what Mick touched on as well, the concern about price suppression. But it does legitimize Bitcoin. And of course, the narrative of like, the institutions are coming. Well, hey, guys, we've been saying it for a while. They've been here. And I don't think people really can wrap their head around the idea of trillions of dollars. Like, that's a shit ton of money. So if they're putting their weight around, you know, wherever they're putting their weight and what they're trying to push, I don't know. It really does seem like one of those truly terrifying moments is just like an average Bitcoiner that will probably never see trillions of dollars, you know, but I hate being a defeatist. So like, I still think Bitcoin's incentives work. And again, I think most of the Bitcoin is in self-custody, and like, what can we really do? And it's pretty much what we continuously do is try to educate people, get people to hold Bitcoin in self-custody. And I think now is one of those important times to be like, look, if you aren't running a node right now, you should be doing that at this point, because, hey, we know that running a node in and of itself doesn't mean much unless it has economic activity. And if BlackRock runs a node and they're pushing trillions of dollars through that node, then yes, their contentious fork will probably dwarf anything that all of us Bitcoiners are doing. And we've seen in the past, of course, Coinbase was one of the big, you know, nemesis in the fork wars. Now they're going to be maybe one of the biggest custodians of Bitcoin. And I don't know, it just, a lot of red flags and my alarms are going off in my head. But also, I think in the eyes of the average person, this does legitimize Bitcoin. And obviously people will start to wake up and there will be a lot of money that gets funneled into Bitcoin. So I don't know. It's one of these like, man, I don't know. At what cost are we going to be absolutely bullish? But it does seem like the bear market is over, and we've seen this playbook happen all the time. I mean, you covered it in the beginning. Larry Fink's been an active anti-Bitcoiner, and now he is endorsing Bitcoin. So it's one of those playbooks that we talk about all the time. Like, I don't like Bitcoin. Let me fill my bags, and once my bags are packed, I love Bitcoin, and let's start this bull market. So, man, I don't know. We've seen this playbook happen all the time. But I really do, on one hand, feel like this was inevitable. And on the other hand, it's like I still believe in Bitcoin and the incentive structures. And I think Bitcoin will overcome this as well. It's just it's one of these things where like it's in time. We will see what happens. And I don't know. I don't think we should get too negative here or too optimistic about it. I think this is something that we knew was going to happen at a certain point, but there is a lot of fishy stuff, man. Just like Gensler clearing house so the fiat overlords can get in. It just, I don't know. It makes me feel weird. It's just like, man,
it's all a conspiracy.
Dude, I'm the conspiracy theorist here. So I'm just like, man, I don't know.
The only thing that's true is Kaboomerex. Oh man! All right, everybody. Opti, you did a fucking great job, dude. That was good stuff. That was some Marty. You included Marty Ben in there. Some other takes.
Hey,
good.
I'm not as dumb as I look, Nico.
I never said that. I'm the one that says that. I'm the one that says that usually. Anyways, everybody, you definitely want to make it over the finish line with your generational wealth, and the way you do that is by properly storing your Bitcoin wallet seed words and passphrases. And the way you do that is you put it on steel. This is the BitPlace Domino. It's designed to preserve Bitcoin wallet backup seed words and passphrases, easy to use, hard to destroy, made from highly corrosion resistant 316 marine grade stainless steel, and offers the ultimate protection against extremes of temperatures. You can use the promo code SIMPLY to get 10% off anything on bitplates.com. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the culture.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. All right, guys, I also want to tell you about Swan's new offer. Bitcoin is generational wealth, and you can secure your bright orange future with the Swan IRA. Real Bitcoin, no taxes. Swan offers both traditional and Roth options to best fit your needs. Create your IRA and start adding Bitcoin in less than 1 minute. Transfers and rollovers are available. Swan's Bitcoin experts will get you set up with no transfer fees and no minimum balance requirements. This is real Bitcoin, not an ETF or other derivative. Get the real thing and get it at Swan. Go to swan.com/IRA for more details. And of course, if you have any questions, doubts, or concerns, you can hit me up on Twitter or the Orange Pill app. Anyways, Opti, no more delay. I'm really freaking excited to talk about Geyser today. I kind of fanboyed in the very beginning. Mick, what you're doing is extremely important, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, same here.
Well, let's recap. Let's recap for everyone. What exactly is Geyser, and why should the audience care about the project? Obviously, Nico's a fanboy, but let's do it again for people coming in late and for the people in the back.
Right. So imagine Kickstarter, but on Bitcoin, on Lightning. But because Bitcoin is global, borderless, this platform is also borderless and global, right? So it's the easiest way for anyone to just launch their ideas and raise funds through the community. So again, it's there's different platforms out there that are emerging. Obviously Nostr is an interesting protocol that enables tipping and things like that. But with Geyser, really focus on ideas, right? And people that have an idea, have a project, sometimes a long-term project, they can put it out there, sponsor it and get community to support them by funding it. And at first I was like, is this going to happen? Like, are Bitcoiners going to actually want to spend their Bitcoin? And, my hunch was yes. My hunch was people do want to support causes that they care about within the Bitcoin ecosystem. They do want to spend their sats. They do want to contribute. And whilst I often say this, while spending Bitcoin is painful, sending sats is joyful, because it's not the same experience. With Lightning, it's so easy. You're sending money quickly, instantly, borderlessly, cheaply is one thing. And then sending funds on chain, which are heavy, sometimes in cold storage, is a whole different experience. And so our bet was with Lightning, you can send funds on chain as well, but we were really initially mostly Lightning native. Now we're fully Bitcoin and Lightning native. And that's sort of the idea, right? You launch your idea, people send sats from all over the world. And let me tell you, one of the key projects themes that exists on Geyser is education. We all care so much as Bitcoiners for Bitcoin education, for spreading Bitcoin education all over the world, wherever it be. And so we're seeing most projects being in some shape or form being related to education. If you're a Bitcoiner and you have your fiat job, you can contribute by just supporting these projects, by donating. You can even purchase items from these projects that are selling items. Or you can actually put out there your project, your idea, and start contributing to the ecosystem. And I think this is one of the other key insights that we had early on, which was Bitcoin is something that we all feel passionate about. So we all have skills, we all have passions. So for example, we've seen people that are football fans, football players, and Bitcoiners that decide to kind of, why don't we bring those two passions together? And so they go out there and do their football club and call it Bitcoin Ballers. Shout out to Josias, and create a project that is focused on Bitcoin for the football community in the UK, right? But you see this all on and on, right? You see artists are like, I love Bitcoin. I'm an artist. I want to contribute to the space. I'm going to do a comic book. I am a fiction writer and I love Bitcoin. Let me write a story about it. I'm a filmmaker and I want to make a film or a documentary about Bitcoin. On and on, creative enterprises, educational projects, and community projects. People that are like, okay, I want to create my own meetup. I'm going to create and one of the big one right now is Kansas City. Shout out to the guys in Kansas City that have a really cool, very big meetup, and they get the community to contribute towards it, to buy beers, to give sats back away within the community. So it's really just a really easy platform for people to put their ideas out there, get support from the community, really community-centered crowdfunding that is easy to do. So you plug in your Lightning address and you're good to go. You can also plug in your node, in which case it's free to use Geyser. Using a Lightning address we charge a 2% fee per transaction. But that's really about it. We're non-custodial. Funds go straight to the creator. So we cannot censor, we cannot freeze. Obviously, we're still a platform. So if there's projects that don't align with our ethos or trying to sell illegal securities, we will have to close those projects down. We have to still, as a company, be careful and regulated. But what's important for us is that the funds go straight to the creator, so that what happens with the truckers could not happen on Geyser. We do not hold funds again. This is part of the key ethos that we have. So yeah, hopefully that answers a few questions, but happy to take some more.
You answered all the questions that I had for you, but let's look for the future.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're killing it.
Dude, hold on a second. So, this is absolutely incredible, right? Because the one of the things about GoFundMe, right, was when the Canadian truckers protest happened. What happened? The Canadian government stepped in and they said, no. You can't donate to people that we don't agree with.
That's right.
So, and then this functions a little bit differently, right? Because it's peer-to-peer. So like technically they could go after the platform, but they can't take the money. Right. Yeah, and I think that's really the something that I love about your platform. So also, Mick, is this a for-profit company? I'm assuming it is, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. We're a C Corp based in the US. We still think that we can take on the big platforms that are out there, GoFundMe, like Kickstarter, and just focus on a Bitcoin only model.
Gotcha. And then so you take a percentage of the sats that are donated. How does that? What's the technical stuff behind that? Because you said it's peer to peer. So how does that work?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So if you're a creator and you want to create a project, you can do two things. You can either connect your node, in which case the funds go straight to your node and we don't even touch them and we don't take any fees. So that's the option one. And so if you're a node runner, it's a no-brainer, create a project with Geyser because it's free to use. And then option two is you plug in your Lightning address, and then we forward all the sats directly to your Lightning address. And in that case, we take a 2% fee, just obviously to maintain the node and operation costs and all our costs. And the way that we do that technically is by using these HODL invoices. So basically makes it even more non-custodial because we don't actually ever custody your funds, not even for a second. What we do is that we send the funds over to the creator of the project, to the receiver, and then we take the money from the funder. It's this really interesting smart contract that was created on Lightning called HODL invoice that enables us to kind of forward sats in a non-custodial way.
Gotcha. This is
one more question on this. Sorry, not to cut you off, Nico, but can people donate anonymously, or are their identities necessarily attached to their donations, or what's going on here?
Yeah, another really good question. So you can donate anonymously, absolutely. If you want to purchase a reward, sometimes you can buy things. Some of the projects sell items. In that case, you will have to. The only thing you have to do is drop your email in order to kind of maintain that connection and be connected to the seller, so that you may get the postcode or something like that. And then if you're creating a project, you do need to tie your identity. So you need to log in either with Twitter, Nostr, which is a lot more censorship resistant, and or Lightning addresses actually as well. Assume. And the reason for that is that the trust element is important, right? People will fund you if they know that you're a real person. If you claim to be Adam Back, people are not gonna, people might fall for it, right? But we need to have a system of a web of trust model where people can fund you because Nico is Nico, and you're right. So that's a key element that we thought we would maintain. So the social layer is important here as well.
Opti, when are we making a Geyser, bro?
I don't know. It seems like we got to do it now, bro.
We got to do it. I know Ben's on there, right? I'm pretty sure Ben's on there.
Ben's on it. We've got a few people, and look, I think podcasters, I think it's been quite growing quite a lot. So actually, if you click on podcasts, you'll see it on there. There's quite a few podcasters in there. Ooh. Okay, yeah,
it said I can do 3. So here we go. There
you go. So with podcasts, I think actually 2Bit Idiots podcast won the grant last. Actually, I think they've created different projects as well. So if you click on their profile, you can actually see the different projects that they've created. Yeah, that's the one. So I think with the kids art competition, they actually won the leaderboard for last week for a type of kids art competition. So it's really trying to gamify, making a great experience, creating a leaderboard, and also adding tooling. So for now, what you can do is you can write entries, which are like long form articles. You can add milestones, but also looking forward, we're looking to add more functionalities that we're still exploring, like, for example, adding events, right? So the event could be a physical location, but it could also be like, a stream, or it could be something else. And then also posts, right? The ability to actually write updates or posts. So it functions a bit like you said, it's for creators that have an idea that they want to happen, but it can also exist within the portfolio of a content creator that wants to put their work out there. And obviously, rewards. You can sell things, merch and things like that. And I think we're going to be working quite a bit on the reward side in order to integrate shipping, to make it easy for people to buy things still in a censorship resistant way. So we will not custody any information around your address, but you'll still be able to receive things in your home as well. There's a lot of exciting things that we're looking to get to as well in the future.
So it might be turning into a marketplace as well. It's just not only like a Kickstarter funding platform.
Yeah, I mean, like there's only so much that a platform can actually do, right? So we wouldn't be able to compete, with a platform that is entirely focused on a marketplace. You can sell things on Geyser, and it's still we can improve the marketplace experience, but it does have to still be focused on that project or that idea of a creator, I would say. So yeah, I think you're kind of right. Although you'll not ever find everything on Geyser. I think it'll be very still focused on kind of crowdfunding ideas.
Awesome. What's one of your more proud achievements that you got funded through Geyser?
So actually on the right side, you see project leaderboard. You see, if you click all time, you can see the top project so far. So the top project so far by far is Bitcoin trading cards with 2.1 Bitcoin funded. And obviously this project is like incredible. I was always bullish about Bitcoin trading cards, but it is blown my mind even further, right? So it received 180 individual contributions. And what they do is that they sell these like Pokemon-like trading card collectibles that are about focus on Bitcoin and Bitcoin culture. And they're incredibly exciting to play and open and share and trade. Shout out to Aladdin, who's leading and is doing incredible work. They already created their second series, and it's incredibly good. Like I really urge anyone to check it out.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love Aladdin. I love what they're doing with Bitcoin trading cards. We're gonna have them back on the show very, very soon. Nice. They released it's the second series, right? The second series they released, and then from my understanding, they're working on the third series. Super, super cool, man. I'm extremely bullish on this project, especially when governments start to crack down and stuff. Because it's what you said. It's uncensorable. It's peer to peer. Does that worry you a little bit too? Right? Where, instead of GoFundMe, people go to Geyser to start raising money instead. Is that something that I'm sure you've thought about this?
Yeah, I mean, again, the worst that can always happen is that the beautiful thing is that we cannot take any funds, and that makes us so much more comfortable. Now, if someone comes up and wants to create a militia on Geyser, then we can't unfortunately allow that. Like, and we do have a terms and condition, and so far so good. And 99% of project, in fact, so far every project has actually existed within our terms. And yeah, if you want to create an entirely censorship-resistant crowdfunding platform, then maybe we would refer you to BTC Pay Server, where you run your node and you receive all the funds, and there is no interface, no platform that can decensor you. So absolutely. But I think we're more in tune with Bitcoin as a peaceful revolution, right? Than anything else. Now, are we going to have issues? Yeah, perhaps on the line that there will be. But we try to maintain the Bitcoin ethos as much as possible, but also focusing on Bitcoin being an accessible tool for the world. And also we do have plans to explore more natively uncensorable solutions that are more Nostr based as well. But that would be, I think, a separate thing, because Geyser, as it is now, I think has an incredible potential, but as a tool that can go mainstream, will have some of those liabilities. But again, we have the ethos. Every Bitcoin investor, every Geyser investor has been Bitcoin only. We really focus on Bitcoin only investors. The board will be Bitcoin only. So we have the backing of the community, and that's how we approach it.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, all the power to you, man. Very, very cool stuff. Incredibly important project, especially, coming from the perspective as a content creator. And we'll spin up hopefully soon a Simply Bitcoin Geyser, and we'll be on there. And anyways, Opti, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the no, we just did the culture. We're gonna do the meme review.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks.
Kaboom Racks. Oh man, Mick's probably like, "What the fuck is going on? Why did I agree to come on this show?"
All right, you guys already know the deal. This is the meme review. This is your favorite portion of the show. Everyone wonders whether they miss the meme review or not. No, you just gotta wait till the very end to get to the meme. As we say every single day, tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery, and it is becoming very, very clear we are in an information war right now. So continue to educate, continue to get the calls of action out there, and continue to build the morale up of your friends and your family out there with the funnies. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat once we cover ours live so that we can get yours read on the show. This first one, shouts out to American Hodl. If you were on the spaces yesterday, we were joking about this meme, but I had to bring it up here today considering I knew we were going to be talking about BlackRock. And he goes, "Dear at BlackRock, I hear you've come to bargain. My price is 25 million per coin and per coin. And as always, remember, today's price is not tomorrow's price." And you can see here BlackRock as this giant kraken, and we have, or octopus, I don't know what the difference is. We got a hodler here with his keys in hand, his Bitcoin in self-custody, fighting the Leviathan that is BlackRock. But shouts out the wine here. My price is a medium-sized planet. I agree. All right, this next one, again, on the same thread. A lot of these are BlackRock related. On the same thread, we got James Lavish, and he goes, "There are whales, and then there are BlackRock whales." And you can see here BlackRock as the behemoth whale, and we have the OG whales looking absolutely tiny in comparison. Again, guys, I know big numbers are hard, but really try to wrap your mind around how much $10 trillion really is. I really don't think you guys are bullish enough, and also probably not terrified enough. Okay, this next one is by our boy Pedro, aka at Retweet on Twitter, and this is the Spider-Man meme and Lois Lane, and I forget what Peter Parker. He goes, "Tell me the truth. I'm ready to hear it." And Spider-Man goes, "A Bitcoin ETF would just be another shitcoin." And she starts crying. Okay, this next one. We asked yesterday, the poll is not done, but is a spot ETF good for Bitcoin? 66% said yes, 33.9% said no. And this is almost statistically relevant with 1,000 votes. Anyways, Whale Love BTC on Twitter goes, "Is this good for Bitcoin?" And yes, everything is good for Bitcoin. You guys already know. Okay, this next one is by our boy, the BTC therapist, and he goes, "I'm never selling my Bitcoin. Do not sell your Bitcoin to BlackRock." And this is the classic corn farmer meme. And he goes, "When BlackRock's ETF is approved, the plebs," and you can see back here is a giant green candle with the Bitcoin logo on it, and it goes, "It ain't much, but it's $1 million. This is the way." Okay, again, on the BlackRock theme, I really like this one. We got Francis Pouliot. This one's a little more meta meme here for you guys. He goes, "BlackRock in 10 years, we really want your Bitcoins. Will you take $2.5 million a piece?" And Bitcoin maximalists, and you can see these little houses in between these giant skyscrapers in Manhattan. I'm guessing these are all in cities, not just only in Manhattan, I guess. We got a house next to these big corporations buildings. We got this little house next to these sky risers. And again, on the same theme, they're going to come and ask you for a price eventually. You hodlers got to hold out. I really like how HODL was putting it in our spaces yesterday. There will be a HODL buyout. Will you make it past the HODL buyout? Anyways, this next meme is by Maxie's Club, and it goes 428 FUD ? And we got the classic riding a bicycle meme template. And we got Maxie's with the FUD, and the FUD, instead of making the bike go over its head and do an endo, it just eats the FUD. Bitcoin Maxi eating the FUD. All right, Nico, this next one was a fan edition. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to be good, but it's going to make Nico feel weird. Here we go. This is by our friend Copernicus.
Oh God,
son.
no, we can't do this. Can't do this. Not acceptable.
Okay.
Not
It was mud,
acceptable.
but it's honest work. I tried.
Not
I
acceptable.
Tried, bro.
Not
it was
acceptable.
PG. It was PG.
Oh
Okay.
man. Oh
Okay.
man. Oh man.
It's a Friday show.
It is the Friday
Drop
show.
your meme review score in the chat.
Speculation stuff, and I don't know. Anyways, all right.
That was PG. Anyways, my score for today.
That was
is-
PG-13. It wasn't
okay.
PG. It was PG.
All right, whatever. Okay. Mine is this card by Sats Obsessed Mentality. You already know. Shouts at the Bitcoin or BTC pins. But today's card is a space cat.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give it because it is the Friday show. I'm gonna give it a bunch. All right. I'm gonna give it my unconfiscatable pass, my Pacific Bitcoin pass, and my Bitcoin 2023 pass. That's my scores. Those are my scores. Kaboom racks. Anyways, Mick, what would you give those memes?
Pretty good. In terms of what item, I don't know how much with me, unfortunately.
Anything. It could be anything.
Okay. I've got a pen.
Oh, that is the best score. Yes, that when the pen gets pulled out.
Sorry, guys. It's a red pen as well, so I guess it's a bad one.
It's
It's a red pen to cross out BlackRock. Meta score.
Boom! All right, everybody.
There you go.
Before we get to the meme scores,
Drop your meme review score in the chat. Drop them now.
in the chat. Do it. Kaboom racks. All right. Anyways, I want to give a shout out.
Wait. Can we go before we do the represent plug? They said the last meme. That is a kaboom rack.
That is a kaboom rack, right? Anyways, everybody, I want to tell you about our sponsor, RepresentLTD.com. Opti Night, wear the merch every single day. I'm wearing the classic Simply Bitcoin camo hoodie. Opti's wearing the Represent orange pill merch and the classic dad hat. You could scan the QR code on your screen. Do it right now, and it will take you directly to the RepresentLTD.com website, on which you could buy the classic Represent Snapback Simply Bitcoin hat. It's limited edition. Get it while supplies last. Anyways, everybody, let's jump into the scores. But before we do that, cue the epic music. Elaine, Larry Fink, changed by Bitcoin and becomes honest. He helps end wars, stops division among people. The Bitcoin world becomes beautiful for all. Elaine, I think it's too early to tell, but
That's very hopeful.
But it's very optimistic. UTXO, I give the memes one Victorian show host. I don't get it. Top Roller, happy to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in a minute. Package of fruit roll-ups. Okay, it's good.
Sounds delicious.
Igor, I give the memes a black hard. Opti's filter is terrible today.
Honestly, I thought it was a BlackRock.
Opti's tarantula-inspired beard, long, thick. Opti must say BlackRock 7 times super fast.
BlackRock. That was 7.
All right, that's good. All right, next one. Roman, score going up forever with Spartan soundboard. Weinicus, hey, what are you doing here? Launching my Satoshi Billionaire Fund on Geyser, where everyone in the world donates 1 sat to make me the first crowdfunded sat billionaire.
Why cracks me up?
Oh man. Pandora Box HQ, Paul Krugman comment about internet. Yes, very nice. Dude, I can't read that. I know.
I can't either.
Oh.
Shouts out to you, bro.
Shout outs to you, dude. Score in 10 years, BlackRock Bitcoin in 2023 was our best investment.
Oof.
We're out of time. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Really want to give a very special shout out to Meta Mick from Geyser. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mick. appreciate you, man. Appreciate what you're doing. Keep it up. Like I've been saying, I think your project plays an essential role in the Bitcoin ecosystem for content creators, for other people that are trying to crowdfund, and very, very happy to have you on the show today. Why don't you tell everybody? We have your handle pulled up on screen, but for our audio listeners, why don't you tell everybody where they could find you on the interwebs?
Absolutely. So we're active on Twitter at Geyser Fund. Also on Telegram, same thing. We have a Telegram channel that was quite active. And then obviously on geyser.fund. You can always go there, create a project, and get and also contribute to them. But yeah, that said, thank you so much. I think what you guys are doing here is fantastic and pivotal, and education. What you guys are doing, making it fun, is it's so important, and it was an absolute blast to be here. So thanks you so much, Nico and Opti.
Well, appreciate you having you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on Simply Bitcoin Live. I want to give a shout out, by the way, to everybody who supported us on Fountain. We're in the top 10. This is the first time in Simply Bitcoin's history. We're in number 9. Holy cow. Thank you all. We would not be there without you. So appreciate all the love. We're going to be making a Geyser page very, very soon. We're going to be including that in all our video descriptions moving forward. Wine, I'm talking to you, Wine. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Fountain, and your favorite podcasting platform of your choice. Simply Bitcoin will be there. And also shout out to our Rumble audience. We hit 51 live viewers on Rumble today. That's freaking awesome. So, you could find Simply Bitcoin on, hopefully, on your favorite platform. We are live streaming to Twitter there as well. Anyways, if you want to join the after party, we're holding it down until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin. Best place to build your Bitcoin stack. Breaking news, Chrissy and Opti broke up again, but they will be getting back together very, very soon. Yeah, hashtag leave my toaster alone. Opti's just pulling up all the stuff. Anyways, guys, enjoy your weekend. Have a great time. Don't stop stacking sats. Don't stop believing. We're going to win this thing. Just bunker down. Anyways, love you all. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.